Yes, hello. Now we're into our next reading of Genesis. We're into chapter 5. Chapter 5 is about the various generations. It's a little bit repetitive, but I think it's worth reading through it just so that we can understand some of the lineages and where people came from where. So we'll skip through it, and at the end of it, I'll do a little bit of a review. So I'll just bring up the text. Here we go. Chapter 5, Genesis. In this book of generations of Adam, and in the day that the Lord created man, in the likeness of God made he him. Male and female created he them, and blessed them, and called them their name Adam, in the day when they were created. And Adam lived 130 years, and then he begot a son in his own likeness, after his image, and called his name Seth. And the days of Adam after he had begotten Seth were 800 years, and he begat sons and daughters. And all the days of Adam lived were 930 years. He died. And Seth lived 105 years, and then begat Enos. Seth lived after he begat Enos 800 years and 807 years, and begat sons and daughters. And all the days of Seth were 912 years, and he died. Enos lived 90 years and begat Canaan. And Enos lived after he begat Canaan 815 years, and begat sons and daughters. And all the days of Enos were 905 years, and he died. And Enos lived 70 years, and begat Mashiel. Canaan lived after he begat Mashiel 840 years, and begat sons and daughters. And all the days of Canaan were 910 years, and he died. Mashiel lived 65 years, and begat Jared. And Mahalalel lived after he begat Jared 830 years, and begat sons and daughters. And all the days of Mahalalel were 895 years, and he died. Jared lived 162 years, and he begat Enoch. And Jared lived after he begat Enoch 800 years, and begat sons and daughters. And all the days of Jared were 962 years, and he died. And Enoch lived 65 years, and begat Methuselah. And Enoch walked with God after he begat Methuselah 300 years, and begat sons and daughters. And all the days of Enoch were 365 years. And Enoch walked with God, and he was not, for God took him. Methuselah lived 100 years and 187 years, and begat Lamech. Methuselah lived after he begat Melech 782 years, and begat sons and daughters. And all the days of Methuselah were 969 years, and he died. Lamech lived 182 years and begat sons, and begat a son. He called his name Noah, saying, "The same shall comfort us concerning our work and toil of our land, because of the ground which the Lord hath cursed." Lamech lived after he begat Noah 595 years and begat sons and daughters. And all the days of Lamech were 777 years. 777. And he died. And Noah was 500 years old, and Noah begat Shem, Ham, and Japheth. Okay, that's basically giving us some very important lineages. I'm just going to run through them. We'll take a little review. I think this is important to take note of. Okay, back at the first, it tells us right up front that this is a book of generations and as of the key people. And it reviews the fact that the Lord created male and female and blessed them, and they were called Adam, which is interesting. It wasn't Adam and Eve, but Adam anyway. And it gives these long lifespans of Adam lived 130 years before he begat his son Seth. Now, for some reason, Cain and Abel are not mentioned here, but I think Cain pops up later on. And this goes on, and it says here that Adam lived in verse 5. Adam lived, all the days that Adam lived were 930 years. Wow. And then it goes on talking about Seth and Enos. And then from Enos, Enos apparently Canaan. Now it's not Cain, it's Canaan. And in the previous chapter, I thought that Enoch came from Cain's side, but this is something I've got to research because it goes through and talks about Canaan's prodigy. It comes all the way down to verse 18, where a prodigy of this lineage says it produced Enoch. And go down, we see some more in verse 21 about Enoch. I'm stressing Enoch because of his books that we are probably, if we continue with this, take a look at, if not only to discuss. But here, Enoch, in verse 22, is it's in verse 24, which says, Enoch walked with God, and he was not, for God took him. Apparently, Enoch did not die as the others, but was taken by God. And this is the first, I guess, direct movement of a human to the realm of heaven, I guess. But that's worth noting in verse 24. Then it goes and it talks about Lamech some more. And in verse 29, we have another key player, Noah. And we'll hear more about Noah later. And the key here is in verse 32, Noah had Shem, Ham, and Japheth. Now, supposedly, after the earth was reset, is Noah's prodigy that repopulated the earth. So this would be Shem, Ham, and Japheth. So there's some key people. And So that's chapter 5. Very interesting. So we'll go on tomorrow. I'll go into chapter 6, and probably the next phase I'll do in this little project is I will set these up as a YouTube premiere, so I can watch, and if there's any comments, I can react to them. In any event, thank you for watching.